Hey everyone, and welcome to my latest life experiment. First, I'm going to share a few of my thoughts on the various forms of social media, and then I'm going to explain why I am choosing to start vlogging on YouTube. So of course you have to start with Facebook. When I'm scrolling through the bottomless bowl of Facebook stuff, I experience this weird combination of, well, first overwhelm, because that's just like way more information than I can process. But also scorn. I find myself like wondering why people are posting this or the other, or like, really, is that how petty their lives are? Or, this is not the kind of person I want to be, but that's often how I end up feeling when I'm on Facebook. And then I also end up feeling kind of bummed out about the state of the world. And then there's Twitter, which used to be my favorite time suck before YouTube, but I'll get to that. And that's because of the people that I follow. I do find that their comedic approach to what they're doing and just the really succinct, smart, snarky comments that they're making really get me thinking in a different way. So yes, Twitter is cool, but it's still not really feeling like my social media home. Now, the way that I have felt about Instagram has changed a lot as Instagram itself has changed. So at first, there were very few people on it. It was very well curated content. I was pretty excited about it. There were no ads. It was actually in reverse chronological order. I felt like I could stay on top of it because I wasn't following that many people. But over time, it just became, and I don't know, maybe I clicked on something accidentally early on, but too many ads. And I also find it really frustrating the way that things are served up. Like, thank you for trying to fix your algorithm, but I actually preferred looking at things in the order that people had actually posted them and finding out like what were people doing right now wherever they were in the world. But now it's just sort of some weird mishmash of stuff and it's 5 days later. There's also something about how Instagram works that does lead to comparing your life to other people's and like, oh, I'm not traveling enough, or oh, I'm not putting myself in front of beautiful vistas often enough, or like, oh, I'm not jumping off of cliffs that are high enough. That's for you, Adam. But yeah, especially last July when, it was our first winter in New Zealand. It was freezing cold and really rainy, and I got really, really sick, and everybody on Instagram was posting about how it was the hottest, most awesome summer ever in Northern California, and I got really, really depressed, and I just quit Instagram. And honestly, I hardly ever go on Instagram at all anymore, other than to check in like, oh, where is my brother these days? Or has Mahaya gotten back from her trip? That sort of thing. I will say that I am impressed often with hashtag humor, like, good job, folks, on your hashtag jokes. And I have to mention Snapchat, of course, because all the cool kids are on it, but not me. I'm too old or too uncool or whatever, just have never even tried it. And that leaves YouTube. And I started spending a whole bunch of time on YouTube for work. I actually got certified in 2 out of the 4 certifications, and I know a lot about how it works on the back end. But the more time that I started spending on YouTube, the more I got super, super inspired about what that platform actually has become, or what its potential is, because I realized there's a whole bunch of crap and drivel on there too. And whether it's because of some miracle of what I happen to be finding on YouTube, or what the algorithm is serving up to me, or if it's because that's where I'm consciously focusing my attention right now, I don't really know. But the kinds of things that I've been seeing on YouTube have totally inspired me about the state of the world and what is possible given technology nowadays. So there's these people, young people, old people, that are just putting themselves out there and all their quirkiness and just sharing their passions with the world. And no matter how obscure the thing is that they're showing up with or sharing with other people, they're finding their audience, they're finding their community. And it's so awesome to me to find that there's like some random guy who's really into extreme magnets and there's all these people watching his channel. And that's just one example of several that I could point to at this moment. And now I know YouTube, it's like owned by Google, it's part of that whole alphabet big brother monster. But for whatever reason, and I know that this is totally paradoxical and makes no rational sense, whereas I really detest Facebook as a company and what they stand for, and I really don't want them to have any of my private information ever, or I resent that I've given them a whole bunch of my private information and they know a whole bunch about me already, I fully trust that Google has everything on me, like all of my private personal details, and that they're gonna make my life better in some way. Like, I can definitely go months at a time without Facebook, but I'm fully willing to embrace being part of the Googledom, and that includes YouTube. So again, I was spending a lot of time on YouTube, researching YouTube for work, and as an experiment, I threw up a video that I built totally according to the algorithm to make sure that people who were searching for a certain topic would find it, and that is my How to Move to New Zealand from the USA video. You can check that out if you haven't watched it already. But for whatever reason, the process of making that video and then the obsession with how people were responding to it has been really fun. Now the sun is totally in my eye. And again, there's something about YouTube that I find so inspiring, and I thought to myself, well, maybe if I just put myself out there in a more public way, I might inspire somebody else, or at least I could inspire myself for having gotten over my fear of starting something new and weird in public, and that would be cool. So here I am starting a YouTube channel with 3 very specific goals. The first goal is that I want this to be a way of connecting with my long lost friends who I moved, half a globe away from, and it's hard to connect with you all with different time zones and different forms of technology, and well, maybe this could help resolve that problem. I don't know. My goal isn't to post videos that claim that I have all the answers. It's more that I want to muck around in the big juicy questions with all of you in a way that maybe will spark some sort of dialogue. We'll see how that works. And the second reason for this experiment is that I am hoping that through creating videos and sharing them on YouTube, it might satisfy this strange urge that I've had of late, and maybe it's because I've been spending so much time on YouTube, to share more of myself in a more vulnerable, but also more integrated way that might make me feel like I'm contributing more to the world. I really have no idea, but yeah, I've really had this sense that I present myself in very specific ways on, ElizabethU.com. That's really been more of the work or money or finance or small business related stuff that I haven't really been adding to. And then I have my blog, which I have been calling This Life, but I think I'm going to resurrect the You Would Think So moniker for that as well. So youwouldthinkso.com. But I don't know, it just feels like so many different parts of myself are really compartmentalized, and I've really had this urge to bring them together more. So maybe that will happen through this project. And the third thing that I really wanted to do is shine some light on the things that I'm discovering or learning out in the world, like the cool work that my friends are doing, my colleagues are working on. Just directing my attention to the kinds of things that I am finding exciting or inspiring and can be a bit of an antidote to what could otherwise be a very depressing state of affairs in this particular day and age. So thank you in advance for being part of this grand life experiment with me, and I can't wait to see where we take this. And I do consider this a collaborative project, so please do send me suggestions or ideas, or if you want to actually be in the videos, let's figure out how to make that happen. But you can also follow me on my e-newsletter. You can sign up for that at elizabethu.com. I think you can probably also get there through youwouldthinkso.com. I should probably fix that before I actually publish this video. But let's be optimistic and assume that something really cool is going to happen from all of this, and I can't wait to hear from you. We'll see you next time.